This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvnetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvnetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvnetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Hey, Meryl, how you doing?
Hey. I'm so good. Still haven't bought any holiday presents yet, but still good.
That's okay. How was your weekend?
It was so nice. I had the show at the winery that I mentioned a few times ago, and it was really beautiful. People paid money to go see comedy and eat fancy dinner rolls and everything, and it was really fun.
Nice. Yeah, my weekend was okay. And the reason why I say it was okay is, we relaxed, had a little bit more snow. My Bears lost to Green Bay.
No.
But that's okay. We play them again, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So we'll get our revenge.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's pretty nice. I cannot complain.
Good. Now, was it a close game?
You know what? It was a close game. We lost by 1 score.
No. I don't know if that's better or worse. I mean, I guess it's good because it makes for a good game the whole time, but...
Yeah, the game ended when Caleb Williams, who's our quarterback, threw an interception in the end zone. So that pretty much ended the game. So that's okay.
Yep. You'll get them next time.
That's true. I mean, instead of number 1, we're number 2 in the division. So we can still end up being number 1 if we win this coming weekend and the Green Bay Packers lose. So
okay. I think I mentioned now I know how my best friend Michelle, who loves the Eagles, feels because she's had to deal with their losses a lot this year. So I just know not to ask about it, or I tell I could offer support.
There you go.
Well, I'll kick us off this week with a funny one that my boyfriend doesn't like too much, but still a good one nonetheless. A court in Turkey, in Kayseri, Turkey, has ruled that social media likes can be considered a breach of trust in some divorce cases. So now, what this means is maybe if a married man likes a woman's post or anything like that, or even just social media, that can be found as contributing to the breakdown of a marriage. So this ruling came after a husband repeatedly posts from another woman, and the court determines hey, this is contributing to the breakdown of a marriage. The higher court upheld the decision, signaling that online actions may carry legal weight in marital disputes. Experts note that the ruling applies to this specific case. It may not be universally binding across Turkey, but I feel like we're going to see this more and more. We're judge, he liked this model's Instagram.
You gotta be, and I know some people are going to get angry about me saying this. This has got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, you know how many things that we like on social media.
Oh,
we
yeah.
Who people are, but we like to post. And there's some people we follow because we like a lot of stuff that they put out there. It doesn't mean that we want a relationship with them. I mean,
exactly.
Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way, but this seems kind of nuts to me.
Right. Okay. So I have the devil's advocate though is you're a very respectable married man, and I'm sure you follow women that are part of projects or part of things that like are attractive, and you may like their stuff, just because you're supporting their podcast, or even if you think, oh, they look beautiful, obviously you're happy with your wife. But like, I think I think it is an issue, maybe not illegal, but to me, it's an issue if like a man is like or not, maybe not an issue, but it's kind of just weird if a man is following like a million bikini and just Instagram girls and liking it. Like if these women are just on Instagram, like just as like models and kind of sex objects, like a man to be liking that and engaging that. Now, like my boyfriend does like a lot of, like attractive women, and he does follow like models and all those kind of people. But I've told him before, like, I don't care if you like it, but if you're messaging them, obviously, then we have a different story. Like, if you're messaging them like beautiful sunset or, anything kind of personal, then that I would be upset about that. But sometimes I do think the optics just look weird. Like I feel kind of embarrassed thinking of the fact that my boyfriend's like part of all these likes of like shiny, oily women. It's a little bit embarrassing, but I feel like the way that we're talking about it, we're like, you were just on a podcast with like, and it was very attractive women, but like you're probably gonna like their post, but you're not liking it in like a weird way. You're liking it in a supportive way.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said what you said, because now if you're messaging them and having conversation with them, that's a
Yeah,
whole different conversation.
exactly,
That's totally
exactly.
different.
Yeah, exactly. Or if they're your friends, like I used to have friends that played on the soccer team in San Diego, and these are like attractive men that I truly actually like had no interest in them romantically. I never did, I never will. But like I cheer them on as like people. So I may message them like yay, or if one of them just had a kid or something, I may be in their DMs like clapping, but I'm not like being creepy, and they're not creepy with me or anything. So if you know them, I think it's okay. But I could see how if there's like a divorce case, I could see how presenting social media evidence would be like maybe not saying, oh, he liked this thing, but maybe it's like, oh, he's in all these DMs and he's making plans like in social media with, obviously to cheat on me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing AMs, that's a different conversation, and that's
Yeah.
evidence. But if you have a situation where it's male or female and they happen to be attractive, but they put out real good posts, maybe it's about exercise, maybe it's about nutrition or whatever, and you're liking that post because you like the material standing out, that's not a problem.
Right.
Now, if they're only modeling bikinis and just,
Yeah.
very little to not get in trouble with social media, and it's a lot of them that you're doing to, then that line may be blurred a little bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's tough. I've had to have this talk with my boyfriend, with other boyfriends, because
Oh
like they
wow.
do follow Instagram models and everything. But I've had to tell them that's fine with me. But what's not fine is like, because I'll get men and even like friends, guy friends in my DMs, and I have to
Mhm.
tell my boyfriend like this makes me feel like my guy friend might like me in like a different way, and it makes me feel weird, and I don't want you making it's embarrassing for me to think of other women almost like feeling bad for me that like my boyfriend's in their
Yeah.
likes or DMs. You know what I mean? It's almost more of an ego thing for me, which maybe some people can get, maybe you can't, but it's like embarrassing because I think I know how women think, which like I know how I think when like a man is too much up in my social media.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit, as a man, sometimes we don't see it as quickly as women do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
And sometimes it's a situation where we really don't think a person is coming to us a certain way. There's like, oh, okay, whatever. And sometimes, our wife, girlfriend, whatever, have to break it down
yeah.
to us. Oh, I didn't even think about that. And honestly, sometimes we just don't know because we just like, okay, whatever, you like it and just move on.
Totally. Totally. Absolutely. Like I had well, this is a whole other separate podcast, but like my boyfriend was talking to one of his coworkers and she was on a cruise and he messaged her and said like like room tour or something. And then and he was showing me, he's like, I asked her for a room tour so that we can get an idea of like what a cruise would look like. And I was half watching the video and half thinking to him, you idiot, she's going to like think that you like her. And why are you asking for a room tour? And like, and then that seems weird to me. And then I had to explain it to him. And then he totally got embarrassed and like got upset and everything like that. And he was showing me the video. So he's not trying to like, he's the one that brought it to me first. But if I was on a cruise and like a random guy I barely knew was like asking me for a room tour, I would just be like, why, what are you doing? You know, like who are you? I don't really know you and stuff. So I could have put him in jail that night. If we were in Turkey, I would have been okay with him going to the slammer for at least a month.
Well, you were nice. You were nice. That's a good thing.
Exactly. But you're right. Sometimes I think women do have, some people can be overboard and they look at who their man is following or who their person's following and like go crazy about that. But I think to me, it's just, you can use it almost as proof of like someone being disrespectful if there's a bunch of other things. It's like, and this,
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on LRODTVNetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss in your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on LRODTVNetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to LRODTVNetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Oh, interesting. This is going to be an interesting day. We got a bunch of other stuff. Well, the next topic here. Nurses across the country are angry that Trump's big, beautiful deal doesn't consider nursing a professional career.
Wow.
This is really interesting to read. Nurses are angry that a provision within President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA, redefines which fields are considered professional degrees by the Department of Education, DOE. A charge that could cap federal student loan limits for those pursuing advanced nursing degrees. This has led to widespread outrage and concern among the nursing community and healthcare advocates. I think this is absolutely insane that we're even talking about this.
Agreed.
I mean, the thing is that everyone in the nursing field in the medical field is very important. Even the janitors are important because guess what? They're the ones that have to keep the facility clean. They have to clean up after certain messes. Also with nurses pretty much do all the grunt work that doctors do. Everyone is very important, including nurses. So to put that in there really was kind of a shocker to me. What do you think, Meryl?
I agree. I mean, I think so many times nurses seem to sometimes even pick up on things like doctors can't because they're too busy or their mind is somewhere else or whatever. I feel like a lot of us have had good experiences with nurses where it's like sometimes they do have the time and like the empathy and listening skills that like we feel like our doctors may not if they're rushed or, for whatever reason. So this seems like so silly to me because they absolutely are a real profession and a really important profession.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the reality. The nurse is the first person you see when you get there, and it's the last person you see before you leave.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And so I think too, like nurses are already, how you said it too, they're a lot of times they're either underpaid or they're not given their full, I mean, the disparity of how doctors and nurses are paid, I think is so different. And I think a lot of times because they tend to be women too, they're not taken as seriously as sometimes male doctors. So yeah.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is right now we already have a shortage of nurses. Okay.
Yeah.
This would actually make it worse.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason why, and this is actually something I want to highlight here. Um, One of the things that it would potentially affect is loan limits. So the reclassification means graduate nursing students would be subject to a lower cap on federal student loans, around $20,500 annually, with a $100,000 lifetime limit, compared to other graduate professional programs, which can have much higher limits. This would make pursuing advanced degrees in, like, for example, nurse practitioners, certified registered nurse, uh, uh, anesthesiast, significantly more difficult financially. Just what we just said.
Yep.
You're gonna already take a situation and make it 10 times worse.
Yeah, and to make it harder, having less people to go into the field. I think the pandemic already scared a lot of people, like the people that they saw on the front lines, and just the amount of strife that a lot of the nurses had made people double think if they wanted to go into it or not. And now it will be even worse.
I agree. And the reality is that you already have a difficult job, a difficult career. And now by doing this reclassification, you're going to make it much more difficult because you do have to go to school. This is one of those things you have to go to school to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't have a way to pay for it, why would you even go into it, to go into further debt? Because if you can't get a student loan to pay for it and you can't afford to pay for it out of your pocket, that means there's significantly less people going into the field. And now when you go to the emergency rooms, you don't even see a doctor anymore unless you request one. You see a nurse practitioner.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're just as good. I feel like I've had wonderful nurse practitioners.
I agree. I mean, do you think that there's going to be a point they're going to reverse this?
Yeah, I really do. I think they'll get enough like pushback with union pressure, and I bet if some doctors speak up too, and just more medical boards, like I think they will. I also wish that nursing was the kind of thing that was way more accessible to people like our ages, is maybe as a second career, because I think like now would be the time that people could be mature enough or have space in their life, or maybe that kids have left, and then that now they have the time to like become a nurse. So I wish we saw more older nurses, because I feel like people in their like 40s and 50s and 60s would be great at that, even if they didn't do it prior.
Oh, I agree. And I think what it does too is, there's a thing with life lessons. There's things that you learn in life just by living life that you can't learn in a textbook.
Yeah.
So, yes, you definitely do need to go to school to learn, but there's also life skills as far as being compassionate, showing empathy. Those are things that can be taught.
Yeah, exactly. I've tried. I just can't learn them. This whole empathy thing, I tried taking a supplement for it, but it's not really working. But I do think it will be recognized, because I think enough nurses and non-nurses will freak out and speak up and make sure that they get recognized for it. I really do.
I agree. I hope it changes soon.
I do too. Well, this couldn't be completely opposite of a helpful nurse. This is ridiculous. I bet online everyone has seen pictures of like Elon Musk as a dog, a robot dog. And it's one of those things that's why I'm so glad that we do our podcast for many reasons, but for the main reason of just like having a place to talk about this type of stuff, because otherwise my brain wouldn't know where to process it. So chances are you've seen pictures, whether you know it or not, of like Elon and Jeff Bezos and all these people with their heads like as normal looking heads, and then their body is like a robot dog body, and it just looks horrifying and very dystopian. Well, a digital artist named Beeple put his face on a $100,000 robot dog next to Elon Musk and Picasso, and it sold first. So this was his latest viral installation at Art Basel in Miami Beach. It's called the Regular Animals Project, and it's $100,000 robotic dogs outfitted with hyper-realistic heads, featuring Elon, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and alongside like art people like Picasso and Andy Warhol. And then the robot dogs, they roam this like plexi case glass, and then it's very, very weird. And this seems like the kind of thing that an exclusive rich art dealer wants to have, just like a robot Elon Musk. If you have $100,000 to burn, And then, so 4 years ago, this artist Digital Collage sold for $69 million. So he is not a stranger to selling weird things for the high dollar. Now, A, I guess, did you see this? And B, are you as frightened as I am of Elon as a dog?
I haven't seen it, but as you were reading that, the thing that came to mind is lawsuits.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing about it. You're trolling. Wow, that's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, you're trolling and taking the physical appearance of people that can sue him into oblivion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's like, it's funny that it's selling for that much, because I think otherwise this would be like, if this was just in some New York showroom, it would be a statement on like billionaires and kind of like, these are the dogs of our society, even though they're like our, the oligarchs kind of thing. But it's funny that it's on display at like a very popular exclusive art exhibit in Miami that like all the hottest and kind of rich people go to. So it's like, I'm not really sure what the actual message of it is, but it's very unsettling.
I think what it is, if you get the right name behind it, it'll sell. Do you remember years ago, someone taped a banana to a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and that thing sold for millions, which is
yeah.
unbelievable. And it's like, wow. So how about throwing me a few millions? If you have money like that just to spend on bananas and robotics animals with someone's head on there, hey, throw me some money. You got it.
Exactly. Something tells me that like I feel like I could see Elon buying the dog of himself. Like absolutely. Why wouldn't Elon want like the barking dog version of himself like running around at his one of his mansions?
The scary part is you're right. He probably would.
Yeah. Like 100, or I could see like him buying the Mark Zuckerberg one and thinking it's funny or something.
Yes, definitely. I mean, now has he been doing this for a while, or this is something he just started doing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the robot thing has been pretty new, but he's been in the game for a really long time of creating kind of like offbeat or eccentric art and selling it to very rich people. And he's made ones of like his own dog and just robots of himself, and just it's very experimental, but it also is, you're right. I wonder how he gets away with like using these people's likeness.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess as long as he doesn't piss him off, he's okay.
Yeah, that's true. But I can't wait till this ends, because I am so tired of seeing, just when I click not interested, and there's like a new version of like a robot dog Mark Zuckerberg. And it's so funny that all of these men do look like kind of super evil villainy too. Like they're handsome men, but they all kind of look a little bit creepy and scary. So making them robot dogs is even worse.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, talk about situations, and this is actually a good subject now that we're into the holidays. Meghan Markle's father, Thomas Markle, says that his daughter had not reached out to him after having one of his legs partially amputated.
Ooh.
So basically, the story goes is that he needed emergency surgery, um, and he's real sick, and he needed to have, I believe, his left leg cut from the knee down. Cut.
Ooh.
So Meghan Markle allegedly put out a statement that she did reach out to him, and he's saying that no, she never did reach out to him. And then now her brother is saying that no, Meghan did reach out to him. To me, this shows a lot of family drama. And let's face it, they've been estranged for years. That's no secret.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that it's not a good look to air out your dirty laundry to the world, regardless of who you are. What do you think about that, Meryl?
I agree. I feel like, remember when her book came out, or did he publish some book? I don't know. There was some drama a few years ago that like he wrote a tell-all or something, but it seems like he's been, a lot of times he talks to the media a lot about their relationship, whether it's for better or worse. And I feel like she's had to kind of control that.
No, I agree. I agree. And the thing is, and what people got to understand is when you have a family member who is a very high profile, whether they're athlete, whether they're in politics or whatever, and you start going to the media, call yourself dishing out dirt on them, if you already don't have a relationship, that's not going to make it any better.
Right, exactly. I'm not the biggest like Meghan Markle hater or lover. I know some people feel like, she's very polarizing and some people either really love her or they like absolutely can't stand her and really like don't like her. But I still think good or bad, I feel like she's the type of person that she seems like if she was like doing really well with the family member, it seems like she absolutely would help out. And I bet they donate to a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't know about. So I feel like it must be pretty bad for her not to acknowledge or support her dad. And, we don't know whether that's a self protection thing or, if she's had to do that for some reasons over the years.
I agree. And the thing is, too, is there are way more people that support her than support him. So
Yeah,
without realizing it, you're gaining a lot of people that hate you, that don't even know you. It's like
I
you just have
know.
this. And the thing is, if she already doesn't have the best of relationships with you, why would you think this is going to make it any better?
Exactly. Yeah, because I remember hearing stuff, whether it was her wedding or what, but he does seem like he like runs to the media and talks a lot.
Yes. And that's the one taboo you don't do when you have a famous relative. That's
No, especially
way.
one with like royal ties too.
Yes, that's true. I think it's really sad, but I think there's a lot more going on that we're not aware of. Because my thing is that whether she reached out to you or not, that's a private conversation between father and daughter. That shouldn't be in the news media.
Yeah. Gosh, her and her husband do such a good job of like not letting their own craziness leak out. Like I feel like the conversations that they must have over dinner secretly, it must be so crazy. Like just about everyone and everything and whatever.
That's true. That's true. I mean, we'll pray for the family, but something like this, I don't see them get close anytime soon.
I know. I forget. Maybe it was something that he couldn't attend the wedding because we don't know if he was too sick or he wasn't invited. Or I think that was something too about. It
I
seems
think
like,
it, I think it leaked out that he wasn't invited to the wedding.
oh yeah. Which like some people, I've known people that just have to, for different reasons, cut their parents out. Unfortunately, and it ends up being the best thing for them. And it may seem cold, but we never know why. And a lot of times it's better for the person, if they have to. And I always just respect that because I'm like, okay, I don't know their life and they're probably doing what's best for them and their own family.
That's true. That's true. I'll just say that it's a sad situation, and I think the only thing that he's accomplished is push his daughter further away. That's just my
Yeah,
personal opinion.
exactly. And making people like side eye him even more that already weren't sure.
Hmm.
Well, I want to know what you think about this. Now, we know a lot of people that have, mentioned a lot of celebrities that have mentioned being on Ozempic or GLP-1s or anything. Now, pets may be next up for that. So, there's a pharmaceutical just launched called Meow One, and it's a clinical study that releases a tiny under the skin implant in over 50 cats that releases a GLP-1 medication drug in over 6 months. So this is for cats that like already have insulin sensitivity. I love an obese cat or dog, even though I just love seeing them out in the world, especially when like a beagle is just like about to pop. But I understand it's not the best for them. So this makes me sad for my own selfish reasons. But experts say that roughly 6 in 10 cats in the U.S. are carrying too much weight, and now maybe they're going to consider the GLP-1. I don't know what your thoughts on this. Like to me, I don't love this because I feel like there could be different ways, whether that's like not feeding your animal so much, or it doesn't seem like cats like are not like us. Like they don't struggle with eating 10,000 meals a day, or I'm not blaming the owner completely, but like for the most part, if you have a very overweight animal, I feel like the majority of times they could eat a little bit less or get more exercise or go on a diet before. But I think this could help pets with like diabetes or actually true insulin resistance.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I actually like it for the severe obese animals.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some animals, I kid you not, it's not all the time, obviously, but I have literally seen a dog so big, and it's like a
Oh,
small dog, with a tiny head and the body's like gigantic, and it's like, wow, this dog's going to explode any second.
Yeah,
Or
it looks like a blimp or something. Yeah. Oh.
exactly. Or have you watched the movie A Pet's Life? Oh,
No, I think I'm
it's
too scared because I hate whenever anything bad happens to animals. I can't handle it.
no, what is it? The Secret Lives of Pets.
Oh, okay. I probably didn't
It's
watch that
a
either. I'm always
cartoon one.
terrified.
It's the animated one.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, there's a cat in there, and the cat, small head, a gigantic body. Cat can barely move.
Oh,
And it's like, I've seen a cat or two like that in real life. And it's like that can't be good for them. So I'm like, in that
no,
situation, I think it's a great idea. It really is. Because it's
I do
quality of life
too.
too. You know.
Yes, but I feel like it just can't be the owner's only solution to that. Is just like shooting their cat up with stuff, and then obviously like lifestyle and habits will have to change, and maybe that cat's getting fed too much. Or I would love to hear from people like who either have known of pets or like I feel like every overweight pet I've seen could be rectified with like the right diet and exercise, but I'm sure there's many examples where it's different. And maybe veterinarians just see cats that are like, oh yeah, we could totally use this, and they've been doing everything they need, and now that this is
But yeah,
a good thing for them.
I mean, basically, there's nothing wrong with giving a treat to your pet. Because I have a dog, and we'll
Right.
give a treat every so often. We leave his food, his like, regular dog food down all day long. He doesn't gobble it down because, compared to a treat, it's just dog food.
Yeah, yeah.
What it is that he knows that we'll give him a treat every so often, but I'm not going to give it to him all day long.
Right. Yeah. It's once the bowl's empty, it's not like a Vegas buffet, like an all you can eat kind of thing. Yeah.
And he knows that. So when he's hungry, he'll go grab his dog food, whatever, and then he knows that every so often I will give him a treat. And then of course, we take him out for walks and stuff like that, so he can get exercise.
Yeah.
But you're right. You can't get a dog or cat. Well, cats differently because they are pretty much solitaire. But for a dog, you really want to exercise him. Take him for a walk. You both will benefit from the walk. Common sense treats. You can't give him everything on your plate when you're eating either because
Yeah.
he won't eat his food anymore. It's just a lot of this stuff is really just common sense to me.
Exactly. I feel like as owners of dogs, we have a responsibility to like keep them in what their healthy weight is. Like that's up to the humans too to manage your animal's weight. But I understand when you can't, then Ozempic is good. Maybe what if I get like a really overweight lab and the lab and I both go on Ozempic? We'll do like a fashion show. That would actually be so funny of like owners and their dogs on GLP-1s.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works, right?
Exactly, and I wonder, like, if I took Meow One, if how that would affect humans.
That's an interesting question.
Exactly, we'll see.
Now, I have a really fun topic that I think you're going to love. Let's have a great debate on artificial Christmas trees versus real Christmas trees.
Oh, that's a good one.
So it says here, choosing between an artificial and real Christmas tree involves trade-offs in convenience, cost, and environmental impact, with artificial trees offering reuse and low maintenance, but real trees providing a natural scent and supporting tree farms. So artificial ones can be more eco-friendly if used for 7+ years to offset manufacturing impacts. Artificial trees save money long term, are flame retardant, and allergen friendly, while real trees support local economies and decompose, but create mess. Interesting, interesting. Now, I'll go ahead and say this.
Okay.
I do love seeing other people with real trees,
Yeah.
not me, because, my wife is scared to have a real tree because, she's afraid that we won't water it like we're supposed to. And, we don't want to, burn on the house.
Yeah. That whole fire thing, exactly.
So, and you know what? The nice thing about for us, we have an artificial tree that has the lights already in it. So, yeah, I know it's kind of lazy, but, we just kind of, it's like 3 or 4 pieces we put together, clap them together and just plug it in.
It's
We're done.
there. Yep.
So, we don't have the the experience of going down, chop the tree down, bring it home, and set it up, and all that stuff. What do you think, Meryl? What do you like, artificial or real?
Same thing as you. I feel like obviously my preference, of course, would be real trees just for like the smell of them and how
Mhm.
beautiful they are and everything. But like the thought of just needlessly chopping down a healthy tree is never like I don't like that either, just for our own like enjoyment. I know it says it supports local economies and like, all that kind of stuff, but I still feel like so many trees get chopped down every year that may not even be used, and that hurts my feelings so much when I see trees that are just not chosen for whatever reason and they're just like still at the farm. I just think that's like so sad to me, and I think we already have an issue with just obviously losing a lot of trees and like deforestation and everything. So I feel like for the sake of the trees, I like artificial, the idea of that.
Yeah, I agree. And then also too, I've been seeing some stories on how to make sure if you do buy a real tree, make sure you don't bring any critters home with you, like bugs and
Oh yeah.
so that just kind of really confirmed my decision not to ever own a real tree in my house.
I know. I feel like I also personify the trees too, and I'm like, I make them, I like ascribe personalities to them. Where if I am at a farm and I see like a sad looking one by itself, I actually feel bad for it because I'm like, oh, like it not only did it get chopped down, but now it has no home, and it's just so it's too emotional for me to think about like trees losing their little families and then not getting chosen.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that love real Christmas trees. I know my son, he puts up a real Christmas tree every year, um,
Yeah,
which is nice. I mean, again, they
yeah,
smell
absolutely.
beautiful. My mom, she loves real trees. She's been doing real Christmas trees for years. So again, I tip my hat off to him, but I don't want to take a chance on stuff because if you
Yeah.
forget to water and those stem, those branches dry off with the Christmas lights and the heat, and like, eh. And
Oh
I've been told
yeah.
by a lot of people, well, no, no, no. Once you get it, you remember. It's easy. You just got to put the water in. I don't know. I just don't want to take that chance.
Exactly, especially if you're gone for the day or for a weekend or something. But yeah, I think real Christmas trees are absolutely beautiful, and like just the smell of it and the look of it. And maybe I'm being too like overly sensitive, and the trees are like ready to come down anyway. But I just think like aren't some of them babies too that get? I just think of like nice, beautiful trees that are getting chopped down kind of in their prime.
Yeah, that's true. And I know you made a great point a few minutes ago about all the trees that don't get purchased.
Yeah, I know. And then that's like really, that is so sad. I feel that way about animal products in general. Like even just thinking of like chicken that goes to waste and everything. I'm like, this was like a living thing that died for no reason. It's not even being used. But if I think about that too much, I'll like truly have a nervous breakdown. But yeah, I think either way, I think if you decorate and love your tree, I think that's the main point of the holidays too, is just like decorating the tree or plugging it in and just going.
Now, I would like to challenge people watching or listening to us. Come to our social media platforms. Let us know what you think, artificial or real. We would love to know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to know that too.
Well, Meryl, this was a great episode. This actually went by pretty fast.
You did.
So, what do you have coming?
I have a really fun show coming up. Um, I'm sure you guys have remembered. I've mentioned a few times that I do these shows called Horror Nerd. I always say horror weird. I need to learn how to like horror movie, but basically it's about scary things, and that comedians take on their favorite scary movies and do a set about it. And that is coming up December 20th at a place called Palmdale at Transplants Brewery. So that'll be really fun.
If you're in the area, make sure you come out support Meryl.
Yeah, and if you message me any of your if you're coming, tell me any of your favorite scary movies, and I'll work them into my set.
Ooh, that would be great. Definitely make sure you let her know that, and also put it on. If you can't make it out there, come to our social media and put it online, and that way Meryl could take a look at it for you.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, for sure. I'll take requests.
All right, Meryl. I had so much fun.
Me too. This was really fun. Now I really want a Christmas tree.
Well, everyone, thank you for watching and listening to us. Thank you for supporting us. Please share and let people know who we are, and continue to support our programs. There's a lot of great things coming up in 2026 that we are very excited about. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on elrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on elrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to elrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.